This week in Living Your Best Life experiment, week 15, it's so easy once you figure out it isn't hard. In this week, on this point here, it looks at how we tend to get focused on one thing and one way of doing something, but if we just stop and take the time to step back and look at things from a different perspective, sometimes we find a different way to go about doing something, or we realize that we're focusing on the wrong thing. She likens all the ideas to teenagers standing on the wall just waiting for somebody to ask them to dance. And this kind of made me stop and think that perspective really is key. When I was a teenager, I never really got asked out a lot. I had a lot of friends when I did a lot of things, but growing up, like from the time I was 15 until I was into my 20s, I think I had maybe like 3 or 4 actual boyfriends. And as I headed into adulthood and I ran into these people from my past, it was surprising how many people had said that they had wanted to, but never did. Because their perception of me was that I wouldn't want to, or they were intimidated by me, or they just felt that I wouldn't be receptive to it. Meanwhile, I just thought that nobody wanted to date me. So it really, I guess hindsight is 2020. It really puts into a perspective that how you view your world isn't necessarily the only way it could be viewed. Your perception shapes the world you create for yourself. And maybe sometimes if we step back and take a look at our realities from a different point of view or from a different perspective, that maybe we can shape it in the way that we want it. Which leads into the next point. Life is an illusion created by your own perception. As an artist, you have the ability to create your own realities in different medias, painting, a picture up here is just a painting of roses, but to me it's painting of a rose garden that doesn't even exist. And I think I need to be reminded from time to time that not only do I have the ability to make my own realities with my artwork, but maybe if I just step back and look at things from a different perspective, maybe I can shape my reality into something more than it is now. And then she talks about write your own script. Like, you are the person who is in charge of writing how your life will work out. What does your old story say about you? Are you always saying, I can't, I should, I suck at, I wish? If that's what your old story is saying, what do you want your new story to say? I can, I will, I'm getting better at doing this. And then once we understand what our story is saying and how it's self-sabotaging ourselves, then we can start rewriting it in a way that is beneficial to us. Take those I can't and I should to I can and I will. By taking a look at your self-sabotaging stories and really facing up to the fact that I do this because this is what I get from it and this is what I need, that's when you can really start figuring out, okay, how can I get that in my new story in a positive way that benefits me. And she talks about writing stream consciousness with your old story and start replacing the old with the new and really push that old story out. If you say, I don't trust men, and what do you get from saying that? I get to prove how lame men are, and I don't have to try because there's no good ones to look for. And now becomes, I love and trust men, and I'm so thrilled to be with an awesome guy who makes me giddy with happiness. So you take the old and the negative and try to replace it with your truth and what outcomes you want from that. I think for me, this one is, I don't hate men. I don't think they're lame. And I I know there's lots of good men out there. I think for me, in that aspect, it truly is, it comes down to a fear of not receiving the love back that I feel for people. Because I'm a very passionate person, so when I do things, no matter what they are, I do it with all my passion. And that goes for every aspect of my life. I have a very all or nothing kind of mentality. So when you make yourself that vulnerable to a person and it's not reciprocated, it makes it very hard to want to put yourself in that situation, which is something that I deal with, not only with men, but people in general. So this last little while, that's something I've been really working towards, is being more open and vulnerable, and just reminding myself that at the end of the day, no matter what happens, I'm still going to be okay at the end of it. And then once you got all your true story out there, and you've made your daily affirmations, what you're telling yourself, until the point where you just believe it and it becomes habit and it's in your brain, then you need to get a move on it and actually start living it. One of the things she says might help is do new things, bust up your normal routine. If you find yourself starting to go down that spiral of a negative story or self-sabotaging story, sidestep it. Do something new. Feel the emotion. Feel like you're sad. Feel like you're upset. But then bust out of it. Do something new. Try to find a new way around it. And then it ends, as always, with love yourself more than you love your drama. I think that's a huge one, is realizing that a lot of the drama we create in our life is of our own creation. And when you step back and remove yourself from your own drama, or making your own drama, things get a lot quieter and a lot happier. So until next week, I hope everybody has a beautiful week, and I'll see you later. Bye.